thank you so much for joining us this morning. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna dive into a quick interview, and then uh, a demonstration, and then a live Q&A with the audience. Um, so
If you,
for the first question, what got you interested in playing tabla?
uh, so, uh, well, it's a long story, but to make it short, I will say that I started playing tabla at the age of 5, and at that time, it was not my decision; it's my parents, and particularly my father wanted me to do some music because in our family, most of my family members are medical doctors, except me. I went to a different line. I became an economist, did my master's in economics. But he wanted me to do the music, and that's how I started playing music. But I never thought that music will be my career. So that's how it started.
Yeah, thank you so much for your response. Could you explain the significance of a bowl? Um, yeah, we have a lot of our audience members are new to Indian classical music, don't know very much about it, and
Mhm.
it's very different in the way it's like learned and performed. So I think it would be helpful for just to get a general background on it.
That's a good question, actually. This bowl. Now, this bowl or phrase, I will say, it's the wordings. And this is the unique thing about tabla or Indian music or Indian percussion, that we have these syllables. So it is like a language. When if somebody plays tabla, then without talking, we can communicate with each other. It's like a language. And that's why these compositions, old composition means, hundreds of years ago, people composed those. They are very poetic. It's like a poem, writing a poem. So it's very interesting that you can interact with anybody. Number one. Number two, in the Western music, when you see it, you see that it is a, like they call it bar, like 4 bars or 3 bars or 5 bars, like that. But they don't have any phrasing. So if any kind of rhythmic pattern you do it, you have to count those bars. Whereas we don't count the bars, but we depend on those bowls, means those phrases. And we hear one time and we grab it because it's the phrase. So if somebody talks to you, you will understand that right away. So if you know the language, right? So it is also like that. That's why we use the bowl patterns, which is the language, in every field of music, whether it's a vocal music or instrumental music or percussion. So that's why in our uh, music, bowl is so important. Means those phrasing.
Got it. Um, could you elaborate on thals and what their significance is?
Yeah. In North India, the whole Indian music is divided between two sections. One is from north, one is from south. But tabla belongs to the North Indian side. So all these talas means the rhythm cycle. Tala means is the cycle, rhythm cycle. Now you can say cycle. What is cycle? It is a rhythm cycle which is fixed. Fixed what? With number of beats. So suppose, and in North Indian music, the that the tala ranges from 3 beats to 128 beats. So far we find in the history, and each rhythm cycle has its own name. So that if I say, could you play Rupak? I can immediately somebody can play Rupak because they know what is Rupak Tal, how many beats are there, what are those phrases. Now here comes the importance of phrase. That when you are playing those phrases. So, for example, Rupak has 3 bars actually. No, Rupak has yes, 3 bars. Means 3, 2, 2. So 3 is tin, na, na. That's how it becomes 7 beats. Tin, na. 3 beats. Dhi, na. 2. Again, dhi, na. 2. So 3, 2, 2. So there are so many talas there, which is very hard to even remember. But we follow the the most popular talas. That's what people are playing, singing, and dancing or Kathak dance. So we are based on into that, and that's one of the reasons that the tala plays a major role in Indian music, whether it is tabla, pakhawaj, or vocal music or instrumental music. So in North Indian music, tala is fixed, means 16 beats tala, tintal, that is fixed. He cannot change it to 17 beats or 15 beats or 10 beats. That tala is fixed. Number of beats are fixed. So we have so many different talas. We have, tintal, which is 16. We have 12. We have 14. We have 15. We have 13, 11, 9, 10, 7. It goes on like that.
Yep. Thanks for the insight on tals. Indian classical music is heavily reliant on improvisation. What are the skills and challenges associated with improvisation during a performance, and what thought processes are involved?
Okay, that's a good question too. Improvisation plays a major role in Indian classical music. But people think that the Indian music, you just do whatever you want to do, but it is not. It is very difficult subject. Unless until you know the subject well, you cannot improvise. For example, when you are talking about a raga, which is the melodic side, which each raga, which is like tala, is fixed. So, for example, I am playing some talas and I am improvising it, but there are certain rules and regulation that you have to maintain it. For example, if I play 16 beats rhythm cycle, every time I have to come back to the first beat in order to complete the cycle. I just cannot land on seventh beat. That is out of rhythm, it will be called. Now, also, when we are improvising, there are strict rules that whatever phrase, those bols, we just discussed about those, whatever bol you have to develop that, and then you can improvise. Improvisation, it's like a drama, that the first scene is this person comes, this woman is coming, this narration and all this stuff. Slowly, different character is coming in. So it is like that improvisation, but there is a strict rules. We have to follow that, and for that, we need to learn a lot. in order to improvise, how you improvise. Like little bit similar, like if you look at the jazz, the way jazz improvise. But every time you are improvising, but according to those themes, and then you are coming back to the main theme. So our improvisation is also like that, but uh, I think in a very strict rules are there that we have to maintain it.
Makes sense. Thanks for the perspective. Yeah, it's kind of a foreign concept to a lot of people who just understand Western music. Kind of how improvisation plays a role in tabla, particularly.
Hmm.
Um, could you tell us about your extensive experience playing Jogobandi with top Carnatic artists and some similarities and differences between the styles? I personally learned tabla with a guru who plays tabla in the Carnatic style, which is kind of like unconventional from um, like kind of generally how tabla is played. So could you kind of tell us about your experience with that?
Well, I played with a lot of Carnatic musicians, uh, uh, and also mridangam player, ghatam player, kanjira player. The main difference is this: when we are talking about tala system, which I just did, right? So in North Indian music, the tala is fixed, whereas in South, tala is not fixed. Why? Because it depends on the jati system. Jati system means that uh, there are five jatis, like three, four, five, seven, and nine. Okay? So, and the jati system is the major role in Karnataka uh, uh, system. And how that changes is Laghu, Guru, and Visharjitam. These are the phrase. Laghu is 4 beats, Guru is 8 beats, Visharjitam is 2 beats. Now, every tala they have total 5 talas, 7 talas, and then 5 jatis. So, if you multiply it, that means 35 talas. How that changes? When you are changing the laghu, which is 4 beats. Suppose I am saying that, okay, I am playing this, say, adital, or which is 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you look at this, so you are seeing that first 4 beats, that is called laghu, and it is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means that is based on Chatusra Jati, means it's going 4. If I say, okay, that same tala, Adi tala, I am saying that I am playing Adi tal in Khanda Jati. Khanda means what? 5. So Laghu will be changed from 4 to 5, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, same tala became 9 beats. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the main difference between South and North. But there is also a bridge where we can meet together. Suppose if they are saying that they are going to play 9 Khandajati Adital, which is 9 beats, at the same time, in North Indian music, we have 9 beats Tala, which is fixed, but 9 beats. So we can match it. And the other thing is the main difference of playing with Karnataki, musicians is that um, it's when we do the variation or improvisation, they go according to the jati system because their main system is based on jati. Whereas in North Indian music, we don't follow that system. We can bring that feeling of threes or fives or seven or nine, but we combined it. But they go according to the rules, like three, then five, then seven, then nine or four. So they have a system, they go according to that, and it's very, very mathematical. But in North, we don't follow that system. We follow those bols because in Karnataka side, in a percussion, like in the North Indian section, we have so much bowls, so many phrases. In the South, the phrases are limited, and because they don't need to have so many phrases because it is based on jati system. But in our system in North Indian, we don't follow the jati system so much, but we bring those elements into it, but don't continue it. And so that's the main difference between South and North. But uh, if you are a good musician and if you have a good relation with whom you are playing with, I think it matches well and it's always successful. There is no problem with it.
Interesting. Thanks for that unique perspective. Um, so, what are some of the challenges of playing to accompany another instrument or live vocal performer?
Um, there should not be a challenge, and that word challenge means are you saying that to challenge somebody else whom you are playing with, or
Um,
or you are it is how you are taking it
so,
when you.
my guru just when I was learning, he used to tell us that it's like we would practice playing to bhajans and kind of recorded pieces, and he would always tell us that there's like a lot of nuance to the dynamic between a tabla player and the other performer. There's kind of like a back and forth, and there has to be like a kind of like I guess synchronization between the two artists, and he would say that that's kind of like one of the challenges of like being a tabla player.
Yes, in that way, it is a challenge in the sense that it's like a test for yourself. You are testing yourself. The main thing about when you are playing with other musician, whether a vocalist or instrumentalist or any other percussion, the first thing is that you have to listen. You have to be a good listener first. You have to understand that what the main artist is trying to establish. And being a tabla player or accompanist at that time, you have to support him what he's trying to build. Most of the time, what I see, the tabla players just start and just trying to show their capabilities. Uh, but when you are accompanying, you have to follow that what the main artist is trying to create. And your job at that time is to support him, not to disturb, not to kill it. Do it accordingly and sweetly. Then it will work. So that is the challenge. That how to bring that musicality into your uh, performance.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for putting that into perspective. Um, so you are now considered by many tabla players to be a legend and an inspiration. Which musicians other than your gurus have you considered inspirational?
Which could you say it again? That question.
Which musicians other than your gurus have you considered to be an inspiration to you?
Oh, yeah. All the legends. I'm in that way. I'm very fortunate that the time when I was born, it was a golden era. All the top musicians are at that time, and I had that opportunity to attend all these musical events and listen to all these maestros, all those legends. In the tabla field, those days, besides my guru, my dada guru means my guru's guru, uh, plus the Khalifa means the head of this gharana which I belong to. I heard him also many times. And then other side, it was Ahmadjan Terakuba. Ahmadjan Terakuba was one of the most legendary figure in tabla, in the history of tabla, I will rather say. That whenever we talk about tabla, we can visualize, or in the back of our head, it is his music is playing. So, Tarkwa Khan Sahab, Habibuddin Khan Sahab, there are so many. And then after that, then comes like Ustad Allah Rakha Khan Sahab, Pandit Kishan Maharaj, Pandit Shanta Prasad. You know, there are so many, and then after that, there are so many. So these are the people who I was kind of grown with it. I was I was listening to them all the time, and that really inspired me a lot. That these people they are, but I was very curious about them too, because these guys they were not that literate people. They could not even write or even write their names or read. But when they were performing, my question was that where this golden jewelry is coming from, how they can create, what they were thinking, what was their visualization, that how they can improvise like this way, uh, which is so musical, and they cannot count. So what they were thinking. So it really um, it was a big challenge for me too, to just to understand where this was coming from. So one time I was playing with Ustad Ali Akbar Khan, and after the concert, I had a long talk with him. I said, what you are thinking at that time when you are improvising and bringing this intricate rhythmic cycle, and every time what I was thinking, it is impossible to come to the first beat, but every time you are doing it and it is coming on first beat. So what was the technique, what was the subject matter behind that, what you were thinking? He said, no, I was not thinking anything, only thinking about the tala, because the tala has its rhythm. And if you follow the rhythm will tell you where you are standing. And that's how it works. And and then he said that, counting does not work. Because when you are playing, you have to, it's like a meditation, you have to concentrate what you are playing. So if you start counting at that time, it is not going to work. And he was so true that every time I hear him and other musicians too, older time, it is so true that their music was very divine music. So, those are the people was kind of an influence for me to study further and go further.
Yeah. Thanks for that kind of insight into kind of what drove you in terms of mentorship.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember my guru used to always say he could tell when we were counting while we were playing, just because like I related to when you said that. um, what did you feel was the most challenging aspect of fusing Hindustani classical with various international styles such as African drum beats and guitar music?
um, Look, music is music. That's its religion. It is us who always try to make it like this is Indian music, this is African music, this is Balinese music, this is Western music. But music is music, whether this or that. So there should be a meeting place. So playing with African music, I did play with a lot of African drummers, Ghanaian drummers, um, and I played with other drum set, great drum set player. I played with, I did some recording with Stevie Wonder. I played with Peter Gabriel. Uh, you know, so many times I did it. But the thing is this, that when we try to play all together and create something like people are talking about, like fusion music, it's fusion music. It is not that you are playing tabla and some congas from African drummings, some guitar, some, and everybody is playing their own things. That is not fusion music, because when you are creating something, some music, there should be a unity, a subject matter. It has to be like you cannot differentiate. It will be like one, not African, not Indian, not Western. It will be just one music. So I think people are still doing their experiment, and it's still going on in experimental way. And I think maybe one day it will come. It will be happening, and I would like to see that. But still now, I think it is in experimental stage, and people are doing good. They're trying hard, and I have a great hope that one day it will be established.
Um, thank you so much for all of your answers to these questions. I mean, that was a very unique perspective, especially with regards to fusion and a lot of stuff that's just not conventionally done. Um, so now moving on to the demonstration portion.
Mm.
Could you please demonstrate some of the basic dolls for us and elaborate on kind of the details behind the origin and characteristics of each, like when some of them would be used? Um, because I know each one kind of has a like like its own unique um, you know characteristics to it. Um,
Yeah, but it's a vast subject, and there are so many things are involved with tabla. uh, that it takes time to explain all of this. And some of the stuff what when I'll play, my son is also going to join with me because I decided because he is young and you guys speak Macays for the students, so that will be good.
Of course.
Yeah. So what I was saying, that there are phrases for tabla and then limited phrase for the left hand, baya. So, but then between the combination of tabla and baya, then it produced that complete phrase. So, for example, if I say, which means na na, and then we say te te. But look, na na te te, na na te te, na na te. So that na te te, na te te, na te te, te te, te te. See how the rhythm changes? One is 4, 3, and 2. But with the baya, when the baya comes, joins with it, then it brings that melodic side, that beautiful sound, like. See that it brings that melodic side, and it is one great thing about tabla because tabla is a melodic instrument. It's not just a drum. First of all, it talks because of its all these phrases are there, and also because you have to keep tuning your tabla all the time. And for that, it brings that melodic side. And so I will ask Nilan also, could you play something smaller piece? So this is the thing which Nilan played, or even I played. It's based on 16 beats rhythm cycle called Tintal. So it goes like 4, 4, 4, 4. And for the Westerners, Western music people, it has 4 bars. Each bar is 4 beats. So these are the small demonstration I can give it to you because, and then comes with all these technical aspects of how you can produce that sound. and there are lots of fingering techniques are involved with it in order to produce those sounds. Like for example, if I play, say when I'm saying dhate te dhate te dha dhate te dhage tu nakena, and when I will play, it's dhate te, and then tate te tate te ta tate te dhage dhin nagena. The same phrase, but I'm extending it, it's stretching the those notes so that it gives you a different rhythm. Dhate te dhate te dha dhate te. It is straight. Now dhate te dhate te dha dhate te dha ke tu na ke na ta te te dhate te dha dhate te dha ke din na ke na ta te te dha te te. Then after that improvisation, then I come back to that same rhythm cycle, when I started with it. So rhythm cycle is like your home. Whatever you do, go outside or whatever you do, but you come back to your home. So rhythm cycle is like your base. That's your home. So whatever I'm doing it, and then I come back to the theta. So that's the main aspect of all the compositions and stuff.
Do you think you could give us some background on so what you just said was like Teen Tal, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you could give us some background on like Rupak Tal and Jap Tal?
Yeah. Okay. So now let's say Rupak Tal, which is 7. So tin tin na din na din na din din na din na. So 2 1. Just a little glimpse of Rupak, okay? Now, here comes 10 bits. Jap Tal. So, D, na. that is a little bit of Japtal. Now, there are so many talas now. Say, um, 12 bits. एक ताल, दिन, दिन, आगे, dedicate to नाल. Sorry. Dedicate to nana katta, dage, dedicate to dage, na dedicate na dage, na pati dage, dina ke na dina ke dage, na dedicate na dage, na pati dage, dina ke na dina ke dage, na dedicate na dage, na pati dage, dina ke. So like that, there are so many talas, and so every tala has their uh, compositions, old compositions or newer compositions. That when we play like that. Okay, so here is a composition. Nilan, could you play a Chakradar in Jhaptal? So this is the Chakradar. It's a composition which will be make a circle 3 times. That's why we are calling it a Chakradar. Chakra means the circle. So it will circle 3 times, and the same composition will be repeated 3 times. Okay, and it is in Jhaptal, in 10 bits rhythm cycle. After he completed that, then he comes back to the teka again, which is the rhythm cycle. And that's the norm in North Indian music, that we have to come back to the bass.
Got it. That was a beautiful explanation. Could you please demonstrate a Tihai for us?
Yeah. Okay, about the concept of Tihai, it is the same note will repeat 3 times, but at the end it has to have a dha, because dha is your first beat, and dha, if you play any rhythm cycle, it will start mostly with dha. So that's why dha is like your heart. So in order to make a tihai, the simple ideas of making tihai is any tal you want to play, a tihai. You make it a double. Like say we are talking about 16 bits. 16 plus 16, 32 plus 1. And that 1 is your dha. So it is 33 bits. Now 3 times, which means that if you divide it into 3, then you will see that it's 11-bit cycle. So 11, 11, 11. So your tihai will be ready for say dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha 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 dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha 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 dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha dha dha. Now this one, if you count it, dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha dha dha. So this is not 11. So what is it then? So it is half of 11. It's 5.5. But if you count 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, that becomes what? 16.5. So how can it come to 17 bits? A half a bit short. But it is not actually, because there is a gap there. So dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage na dha 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 dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage dha 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 dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage dha dha dha. So that is dha din din da da din din da na din din na de de di di na dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage na dha 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 dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage na dha 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 dhati dhage na dhati dhati dhage dinage na dha 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 din din da da. So the tihai has so many different ways you can make tihai. This is just that. This is the what do you call it? Regular, not regular, but this is the system, easy system to make a tihai. So. So this is same concept. What I did, dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha tadha dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha tadha dhati dhagena dhati dhati dhage dinagena dha tadha. Now, if we want to do a little different, but in threes. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 tak it take it da take it da take it da tak it take it da take it da take it da tak it take it da take it da take it da. Now this is in japtal, in 10 bits rhythm cycle. The same concept. So japtal 10 bits, 10 plus 10 plus 1, 21. So 777. Takita dhete takata gadiga dekita dhan dekita dhan dekita na. Takita dhete takita dhan dekita dhan dekita dha. Takita dhete takita dhan dekita dhan dekita dha. Takita dhete takita dhan dekita dhan dekita na. So na na tin. Now, if I do that same, using same word but changing the speed into 4, same tals, 10 bits. Takita dhata takita dhati dhan ekita dhati dhan ekita dhati dha. Takita dhata takita dhati dhan ekita dhati dhan ekita dhati dha. Takita dhata takita dhati dhan dhati dhan ekita dhati dha. Now. Takita dhata takita dhati dhan ekita dhati da, na, ki, da, di, da, da. So this is the way we do the tihai, and in every tala you can do tihai. But tihai is the ending part of any composition you are playing, so it plays a major role too.
Could you please demonstrate the playstyle characteristic of your gharana, the Lucknow gharana, and maybe contrast that style with some other gharanas?
Yeah, it is. The gharana, different school has different combination. Bols are all same, but the character and approach is different. That's it. Is like you are playing. Somebody is playing guitar. It can be Spanish style. It can be jazz style. It can be classical style. Right. So gharana is also like that. For example, in Lucknow gharana, the gharana which I belong, is the most of the phrases were taken from Pakhawaj and dance and tarana, because those time when these people came to Lucknow to establish that gharana, they had to deal with playing with Pakhawaj and dance and tarana people. So they had to come up with some other phrases and style, everything they had to change it. So mainly Lucknow gharana was built at that time, taking bols from Pakhawaj. So it got very heavy side of that. Pakhawaj bowl is always heavy. So this kind of pattern, it's mostly in Lucknow style, but also there is a sweeter side for playing laggi or with tumris or dadras, like light classical. So. The thing about Lucknow. Out of Lucknow, then it was created two different gharanas. One is called Farrukhabad and one is called Banaras. So Farrukhabad is very similar to Lucknow, same kind of pattern, just a little different composition. The composition there, Farrukhabad is very famous for its chalan, which is Banaras is also a heavier side bowl. This kind of is Banaras. If you go back to Delhi, which is the origin, Delhi Baj is very softer because it's called kinarbaj on the side. So you're so these are the main gharanas. I just played just a little by little. But these are the things not everybody can understand if they hear just one time, because it will be, for them, it will be all same. In order to understand this, you have to learn a little bit of tabla, then you could differentiate the character, the approach, and sentiment, and using the phrase. Uh, it is different.
Thanks for that elaborate explanation. So I know you're trained in the Hindustani style, but could you demonstrate the differences between Hindustani and Carnatic styles of playing?
See, for example, so Hindustani style. Because I don't play mridangam, so the people who are playing mridangam, they will go into this kind of groove, means rhythm. So it's like that. The thing is that that side, Carnatic side, is they can explain you better. But I had that experience. I played with them. That's why I was just giving you an example that how the rhythm will how they played that rhythm cycle.
Um, could you, yeah, you're known for your iconic Dir Dir. Could you please demonstrate that?
Yeah.
Wow, that was pretty amazing to watch. Um, so a lot of
It is. It is. It is. It is not for not only for me. Anybody can do it, but they have to work on it. Then even you can do it if you work on it. You can do it.
Yep, thanks for that encouragement. Um, so, a lot of masterful artists are able to manipulate the volume of their playing to suit the piece. Could you please demonstrate like this manipulation of volume?
Ah, for example, let me give you this. It's in 16 beats. You see, this is the thing that when we play it, at that time it comes to your mind, and then you manipulate the sound. Sometimes the volume gets uh, louder, and then you control it right away so that it gets softer. So it is always, it is not only in tabla, but in any music, this controlling volume, it plays a major role because you are bringing that beauty of music, right? Whether you play guitar or you play drum set or you play tabla, it is basically the same to control the volume, and you have to know where to do that and how to do it, how to control that. So it falls into the technical side of yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that explanation. So that really concludes the demonstration questions. Yeah, we're getting a lot of engagement from the audience. People really, people really love your playing. A lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people have questions as well. So to go into a few of them, could you please talk about what you know regarding how and why tabla overtones affect the brain in terms of either subtle consciousness or neuroscience?
Um, Tabla creates some kind of vibration, which is difficult to explain. How can I explain it to you? It tabla is not only a drum, it's a melody which if you because it is if you keep rotating it, if you keep playing and playing and playing, ultimately it hits inside you, and it's like you get that vibration every time I hit that note, which goes inside you and it vibrates, and it definitely works. It does something to your body and to your mind. It definitely freshen up. Uh, I'm saying it because it's from my own experience. Uh, That's what I feel, and so that's how it works. That was that your question?
Um, yeah, I think um, he's specifically asking how does it affect the brain in terms of subtle consciousness or
Yes.
neuroscience?
Okay. The how it works in the brain, because when you are using those notes, those phrase works like a mantra, and it's kind of it is rotating inside you and it goes to your head. That's why it's kind of humming inside your brain, and it calms you down. Like nowadays you'll see a lot of music therapy. People are talking about music therapy, particularly in Germany. They are doing it, and I visited those places. I went there and I saw what was happening, and it is working. So what is that then? It is actually working like a chanting. When you are it's like a mantra which is going on to your brain, and just if you say even just in one note, and if you keep doing it, even if you stop, you feel like something is happening inside you, who is somebody is reciting that. So it works like a chanting, and it definitely works with your brain.
Thank you so much for that answer and kind of elaborating on kind of the more scientific basis for how tabla affects the brain. Um, what advice would you give to youth who were trying to learn more about tabla and other classical instruments?
Well, what I will suggest or advise you guys is that just learn, go to your teacher and learn properly, and practice. Practice will make you perfect. Then your realization will be higher and higher and higher. So, practice plays a major role, but how you will practice, that's up to you. I'm not saying that practice for 24 hours. It is impossible nowadays. But if you can start with, say, half an hour practice, but do it regularly, every single day, and you will see what happens after 2 or 3 weeks. That half an hour will go to 1 hour without knowing. You even will not feel, and it will increase your practice. That's the way to do it. The other thing is, overdo. Don't try to hurt yourself, and just follow the instruction from your teacher how you practice and learn, and then you will understand more tabla. And that is applicable to not only in tabla but in the whole music scene. I'm talking about whether you play guitar or you play trombone or saxophone or piano. The same thing. It it's applicable to everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure many young players appreciate your advice and encouragement. Um, as a traditional tabla guru who has explored other facets of the genre, what direction do you want to see the instrument taking in the coming years?
Well, the thing is, nowadays when I see all of those young kids, man, they are so talented. They are so intelligent, smart, talented. It's more than what we had gone through. At that time, our time, we didn't have so many talented people. talent was there, but not like what I see now. But at that time, everybody was really hardworking, and they worked very hard and established themselves. And nowadays, what I see, there is a talent, but people are not really want to work too much. They everything they want to get in short, like everything shortcut. But I think that particularly in music, there is no shortcut, uh, because if you want to go in that direction, you'll be cut short. That's for sure. So that is the thing which I see nowadays. The difference is that everything is very, um, people are more impatient now. They don't have that patience. Yeah, in order to learn something, you have to be patient. And the other thing is that we always underestimate music. That's for sure. If somebody wants to go for med school, they will say, "Well, I'm going to med school. I have, so much pressure not doing that." But to be a musician is very hard job. It's not easy. I think it is the most uh, dangerous job, because you have to face every time you are on the stage, you are facing thousands of people. Every single concert you are playing, it's your test, your exam. So if that's why I'm saying that you have to have that patience, that yes, I can do it. And if you think, or if you take that challenge and I want to do it, nobody can stop you. You can do it. But you have to give that respect to your music and work hard. And just do it lovingly. It is not that you are pushing yourself. No, give it your love to your music, and you see that how fast it will grow. So that is the beauty of music, that if you give, um, like $1 love, in return you get back $10 from music. So that's my suggestion, my advice.
Thank you so much for all the insight and perspective that you've kind of brought here. We really appreciate you coming on and kind of donating your time here with us, and just kind of demonstrating some of the more basics for our audience. A lot of people who are interested in Indian classical music and kind of don't know where to start, or are just kind of just looking to get a better understanding of it. Um, Sachin also says thank you so much. He's in the audience, and I mean it was truly a beautiful demonstration.
Yeah, I love to do this for young people, and particularly SPICMACAY, because when SPICMACAY started early in 70s, at that time, uh, I was Ravi Shankar ji, myself, and the main person, Kiran, who was the main person of Speak McKay in Delhi. Uh, we started a tour with Speak McKay Bena. That's how the Speak McKay started. And after that, I played many times, even over here with Pandit Jasraj in the East Coast, and West. So yeah, and it will be good. Speak McKay is good, and you guys should take the initiative to spread it, because it's a good thing. It is not bad. It is good. and everybody should be involved. Whether it's, I'm not talking only about Indian, but anybody who will be interested. And in the West, actually, the Indian music is playing a major role now in every single school and colleges. And look at where I was the chairperson of the whole world music program in Cal Arts. Um, it's growing so well now. People are doing their major in North Indian music or tabla, uh, vocal, instrumental. So, so people should do music in overall. I think it is. It definitely brings the peace inside you, and it changes your behavior, it changes your attitude, your character. So, and on top of that, it brings is the concentration power. It elevates your concentration power. And if that happens, then that you can use it in any field and you'll be successful. So it's just to keep doing it. And my blessing will be there, my love will be always there. And in future, if you need me, just let me know.
Andrew's asking, when are you going to come down to New Orleans and play a solo concert?
And tell Andrew that when things will be better, when there will be no more coronavirus, or when they will come up with some vaccine, then I will come.
Sounds good. Um, yeah. Well, I think that just about concludes our session here today. Um,
I'd like to thank Nilan for joining because he is very busy working, and he just took it off today and came. And thank you, Nilan.
right, of course. Thanks to the both of you. It was a treat